let's go into the live demo. All right, so I'm going to bring up Google Ads actually. We're up in ads.google.com. And I realize this may get a little technical for people, but I'm going to walk you through this. And this is kind of going to be a quick walkthrough because obviously this can take a while. It'd be like you guys explaining to me how to fix a car. So anyway, we're in Google Ads in ads.google.com. And here's where we're going to create a new campaign. Actually, this will be a new campaign. But the first thing we need to do is look at Keyword Planner. Because I can tell you all the keywords that you should use, but in reality, we have to check your area. So first thing let's do is we're going to discover new keywords. And I'm going to use an auto repair example. I think someone sent me one earlier about location. So what I'm going to do is type in auto repair because I don't auto repair shop. So that's the basic one here. Now, I changed that earlier, but I'm just going to give you the example. So auto repair shop, we can click get results. And we should get some stuff popping up. Okay, auto repair. You can start seeing all the numbers here. And we can add other things like automotive service shop and auto repair shop. There should be mechanic and stuff like that near me. Auto mechanic service. So that should give us enough. And if you notice down here, we start to get, okay, we're at 4,300 keyword ideas. Now, I changed it to US because when you initially come in here, this is for the entire United States. So what we need to do is filter that down to your location. And what I picked out something on the map earlier. I just picked up a random spot. So I decided I'm going to do Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And for no particular reason, but so we go in here, and if you're located in Cedar Rapids, actually, here's a good example for you. So go in here, and we're going to type in Cedar Rapids. Now you notice that it gives you the actual city. We can target that, but it's still got US. We need to cancel that out. We don't care about that anymore. So that's actual Cedar Rapids, but they also gave us this DMA region, which we can click on that and see, but if you notice, it's a pretty big area. And most likely, no one's going to travel that far for an auto repair shop. But if you're in a different service where you think, okay, oh yeah, people might travel that far to see me, then it's worth it. But if it's highly unlikely, then don't do that because it's going to give you false data. So you might say, well, people will travel a little bit farther, but let's just go ahead and see what the example is here just to get a rough idea. So save that. And you notice it drops it down the numbers. So what we can do is over on the right side, we go over and click download keyword ideas on that right side there. And I actually already did that for this section because it kind of takes a little bit. So I downloaded that spreadsheet. And here's how it comes out. Google gives you this crazy spreadsheet right here. And if you notice, it showed like 4,000 keywords. I think I may have filtered part of it, but so there's 4,300 keywords. Some of these have no data, but there must have been a search in the past. One thing I'll mention here as well before I go further is over in the keyword ideas, you can click these refined keywords and see there's a section that says like tire shop. So maybe I don't do body repair or something. So you can click that out. But for our example, we'll just keep it in there. The point is, you can look and see these keywords here on the side, which makes sense for auto repair. It may not make sense if you're a body shop or PDR or detailer. You can see those per month. And that right there doesn't seem like a lot, but when we add up all these, it comes out to a lot. So it comes out to 37,000 a month just for that small area of Cedar Rapids. So that's what we want to do for any area that we're going to run Google Ads for. See your actual volume, see what is working, see what the search is. Because you can go over here and look, every single month people are searching for this stuff. If they're searching, it means that they don't know you or they don't have a preferred shop to go to. Here is the cost. So we talk about Google Ads clicks. So when people pull up your ad, which I showed you earlier, it costs anywhere between these two amounts. So it could cost 91 cents, could cost that, but the clicks aren't really what we're concerned about, but it gives you the idea of what you're going to start with. We're concerned about conversions. Conversions meaning phone calls or leads. So that's the keywords. Let me go over here to something else now, because I think that gives you the idea. Let's go over here to new campaign. So now we're in a new campaign. And if you guys do not have a Google Ads account, if you haven't set one up, then this might look a little different. This is kind of like the advanced section. So when you click new campaign, it's going to give you these different objectives. Now, initially, if you've never created a campaign, it's probably a good idea to go with this no guidance because you have nothing in the background. You have no conversions set up. But if we have conversions already set up, then we can just go straight to leads. But in either case, I know how to make it look like leads for no guidance. That's probably confusing. But so I'm going to click leads. For some of you guys, you're not going to have these conversions set up yet. So it may not work out too well, but leads is going to help you get conversions. Now I've already got some of these in this example account, and you might have to set up one in order to continue. So you can do that. If that doesn't work, just click new guidance or no guidance, then click continue. Now we're going to do campaign type. Now, guys, what you got to remember is Google wants you to spend as much money as possible. So I want you to spend as minimal as possible to get the biggest bang for your buck. And you do too. Google is going to tell you, hey, run it on everything. But we know that doesn't work too well. So you want to start with search only. Search is the people who are searching. These other things, yes, they do work as well, but not as much for you initially. Now, you want to click ways you'd like to reach your goal, website visits, and the phone calls. Don't click all these other things because it's hard to track. How are you going to track store visits, app downloads? Don't do that right now. Now, websites. So I'm going to go ahead and you want to put your website in there, but it's not going to be I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in there for now. Okay. So I'm just going to put mine in there for now. And then the phone number, I'll just put mine. Okay. So you've got that, and you can put the little parentheses on there. Okay. I think it fixed it. Okay. That's going to help you with these conversions later. So then continue that. Okay, campaign name, you can just call it whatever you want. I'm going to put auto repair demo. But if you're doing detailing or PDR, I'd recommend putting your name, your business name, and then the service, and then search. Because this is a search campaign. If you're doing like YouTube videos, and put video and put continue. I mentioned YouTube because YouTube is how you run. Google Ads is how you run YouTube as well. Okay, bidding, conversions. So we want conversions. There are these other options. You can do clicks, but we want conversions. We want to measure people calling us or getting us a lead. So click next. Some of you guys don't have conversions set up, so you're going to have to set that up. It may not let you do it. You may have to go back and change it. Okay, here's a good example. Google wants you to do search network and all this stuff. But again, this costs extra money. So deselect these guys initially. We may want to do it later, but right now, no. It's going to say, hey, go ahead and do this. No, don't do it. This will save you money initially and it will work better. Okay, location. Here, this is the major key, a major issue I see with Google Ads everywhere. Put your actual location. Okay, so enter another location. Now remember, we're doing Cedar Rapids. Here's where you can get a little bit more detailed. So I can type in Cedar Rapids and I can put target. But if you think about it, you might say, hey, I might have people coming 10 miles out. So now I can actually do radius instead of that. I can put Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And initially it's going to do that 20 miles, but you need to go in here and click edit. If you say, hey, people might come to me 10 miles out. save it. And you can delete that one out from the middle. But for some people in very rural areas, you might say, hey, people might come to me 50 miles out. Okay. If you're out west or whatever, Montana, Wyoming. So, but don't do that if you're in a very populated area where people will not do that. Who are the most likely people to visit you? And for most people, it's probably 10 miles or less. I mean, New York City, 5 miles. So 10 miles, there you go, and save. Now we got 10 miles. The next piece is this right here, guys. Presence in or interest. Google recommends this because they're going to get you more money. They want more money from you. But if you do this, then I can see your ads across the country. Put presence in or regularly in. These are the people who actually will come to your shop or want your service. Because if you're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I'm looking at your ad in Florida, I'm not going to go to your shop. Okay. So anyway, that's a quick tip. No one should see your ads outside the area. Okay, English. If you have Spanish, you can do that there too. Audience segments. Most of the stuff, the rest of the stuff here, you can leave as it is. Broad match, leave that off. They're going to want you to turn it on later, but leave it off. Automatically created assets off. More settings. You can leave most of this stuff here the same and then just click next. The biggest key is you don't want Google's default algorithm to add everything in there because it's going to create too much confusion for you. All right, keywords. Now, here's where they do have this new AI piece where you can help create my ad. It is actually pretty good, but let's just create it ourselves for now. And keywords. Now, if you have a website that already has all this stuff set up, then it will give you keywords. If you notice, they actually pulled these keywords from my website. So this is actually decent. You can type in, let's go ahead and type in auto repair on this one, and they'll give us suggested keywords. So they'll give us suggested ones, but remember, we already pulled up keywords. Okay, so check it out. They pulled up this. That is actually pretty good. But remember, we pulled this up earlier. Now what we can do is we can copy. We don't need to copy all of these because it's a little excessive, redundant. We can copy some of these right here as long as it pertains to your shop. And we can paste it in there. So now we have a good base of keywords, and those are the top keywords in our area. So add more. No, don't just leave that. So now we have all these keywords. And now we're going to go in here. This URL should not actually be your website. It should be your landing page. So whatever your landing page name is, you want to make sure you want to copy that. So it might be /landing page. That's not a real website there. So whatever your actual landing page is, put that there. And then here we go. They give us the option to do this stuff. So calls, add a phone number, calls. I'm going to click that and add that one. Okay, now we got a call. We got a way for people to call us from the ad. Calls, headlines. They're going to give us a lot of headlines that are pretty good for your service, be it based on keywords. So what we want to do is have all these keywords in our headline. So get your shop. This is kind of strange. So mechanic near me. I mean, we want to capitalize it, stuff like that. Now you notice, look at that. It checked it off. Nearest tire shop. You're going to notice it's going to check these off. So it checked off a bunch of these right there. Car detail shop. Now, obviously, this guy probably doesn't do detailing, but we're just doing the example. So you can capitalize these guys as well, and that'll help. Car fixing places is kind of strange, but you can put that in there too. I wouldn't put car fixing places, but I'm just giving you the example here. So you're going to go through here and put all these headlines, and as it goes, you're going to increase the strength of this ad. You could also put like call now, call now, get a fast free quote, stuff like that. And so on. So if you notice, okay, this pulled this from my website, so that's kind of weird. But I have some examples already. And you want to make sure you're using keywords from your web from the same types of keywords that we used earlier. You want to use in the descriptions. Now, what will happen here is that Google will kind of mix these up a little bit, and whatever works best is kind of they make your ad look really good. So you notice up here on the top, ad strength went from poor to average, and it'll keep getting better. The more you use their keywords, the more they fill out everything in here. So, and you notice this right here, this little blocks got kind of more complete. Okay. So now images. Okay. I can actually add images because this account has been existing, but for new accounts, I think you have to maybe run ads for 30 days before you get this option. But images can be good. You want to add, click here and here, you can add an image. So I won't go through that now. Business name. Now, it needs to match the business name that's approved in your Google business. Not Google business listing, but Google ad account. Initially, you guys won't have this unless you already have the ad account set up. But the thing is that if you follow what Google wants you to do, they want you to fill out all this stuff. They actually show your ads to more people. So business logo, add that in there. Site links. Site links are going to be links to your website. And I think I might have some here. No, I don't have any. Okay, here's one. So contact us, services. You want to add all those. So that's site links. You can add 4 more. So add 4 more. And here's where if you don't have a website, you're not going to be able to do this at all. You got to have the website on there. Okay, call outs. So call outs, a lot of this stuff might seem like it's redundant, and it kind of is, but we're going to just add more of the same stuff. So we've already talked about, auto repair specialist and all this stuff, but you can do the same thing in these call outs, and Google just gives you more space to add it. So you can add all this stuff, fast, trustworthy, made in the USA, no hassle. I mean, you could put expert mechanics and expert mechanic near me. Again, I'm just giving you the examples for stuff here. Not everybody would do this, but you can add those in there. And the more you add, the bigger this ad will get and the better Google will think your ad is going to be. So here's some more asset types. Some of these won't apply to you guys, but like promotions. Okay, so if you guys ever offer 10% off to someone, let's say law enforcement or military, here's where you could do promotions. So you could add a promotion and say, let's see, you could do Christmas specials, whatever, but you could just leave one going. You could say percent, 10% off, and then you could say military discount or something. And then you put the link there. But it's another way. If you're already doing it, just add it in there. It's not a big deal. So obviously we're not pushing promotions and discounts, but if you already had any kind of discount, just put that in there, and then it gives you more piece in your ad. Here you can start to see these links. So this is kind of the links starting to show you there, starting to show you the phone number, lead form. Actually, I'll get to that in a second. Prices is kind of a tricky one. You may want to do it, you may not. I don't necessarily recommend the price part, but it does give you more real estate on the ad. Structured snippets. Here's where you can do you go in here and you click like service catalog. Let's do create a new one. So for most auto repair type, you can go down here to service catalog. Okay, it gives you an example already, oil change. So yeah, I do like oil change, brake inspection. You can add as many as you want. They don't all fit on there, but you can add all this stuff. And you can just keep adding a lot of these. They won't all show up, but the more you do, the better. Obviously, this needs to go to pertain to your exact business. So add that. And now you have another piece in, save it too. Now you have another piece in that Google ad. So that actually shows up. Look right there, service catalog, oil change, brake inspection. So we've already added this stuff before, but now Google just makes it even bigger because, well, you filled out stuff that they want. Okay, apps, you're probably not ever going to do the apps part. Lead forms is where you can actually do an additional form to where it says get a quote. This is a little bit harder to explain right now, but you can click lead form. You can click get a quote. Almost the same thing that we already did. And then business name, here's where you're going to put your business name, description, same type of thing. They give you 200 characters where you can say, get a fast, free paintless dent repair quote wherever you're at. And then you got to click in, you want name, phone number, email. Some of this other stuff doesn't really apply because a lot of these auto ones are pertaining to dealerships and stuff. But if you just do that, add your privacy policy URL, you can add a background image, add the link. So a lot of this is a little bit more technical. And then what we do is we link this to the page that I showed you guys earlier. Let me just go back to that. See if I can pull it up. We link it to this customer tracking system. So I know that's a little more, but it takes several softwares to do that. But anyway, that's what I would do. I would add that lead form. Some people use it, some people don't, but it adds another piece to your ad. Add images. So as you can see, we got up to like an average one. And I'll tell you, it doesn't have to say excellent, but a lot of ours do say excellent. But even the average ones can get good leads. So once you get through all that, and you want to fill out everything that you can, I left some of these blank. I left some of these headlines and stuff blank, but you want to fill out as much as you can. And then as many as these that you can as well. And then you want to click next. Let's see if it lets me do it. Okay, budget here. Okay, so check this out. Now Google says 50 bucks a day. Guys, don't do that. Unless you've already been doing ads here, I would probably go and you could start at 15 a day, or you could start at 20 bucks a day. For most auto repair, especially local small area businesses, you can do 15, 20 bucks a day. If you're going to do 10 or less, I probably wouldn't do Google ads. But for $15 a day, 15 to 20, it's a good starting point to start seeing some results. The problem with going up to 50 bucks a day, which you might be ready for, is you want to make sure this is all dialed in and not wasting money. So anyway, it's going to check errors, it's going to check all this stuff, and then go to publish. So I didn't really talk about setting up the landing page that requires your website software and some other software type stuff. I didn't really talk about setting up, the forms. This landing page part is kind of a critical piece to it as well. This whole section, this whole page, you do want that set up right. This form is an older style form. We don't use this one anymore. We use one that actually has pictures and you can add more things into it. So you want to make sure you have that in there as well. The other piece is going into conversions. You do need to set up conversions properly as well. In order to do that, you can go up here to tools and settings. I'm not sure what's going to show up here. Let me see. Okay, so in here, phone calls, when you initially set up your account, you're not going to have any conversion setup. So you need to do new conversion value. The website one will be for your lead form. The phone call one you use for phone calls. So phone calls from ads using call extensions or call only ads. You can also do call only ads. Click that continue. Okay, so now we just put a name. So phone calls. Make it obvious that, hey, the conversion is phone calls. And then for value, I would just say use the same value for each conversion and just leave it at $1. You don't know what it's going to be yet. Doesn't really matter. Then count. For leads, I do 1. And then call length. Here's where we don't want to have a lead that's, the call length is 5 seconds. It's the guy may call and hang up. You may get a good lead that you talk to for 30 seconds, but call length needs to be 60 seconds. Now they default it to that. At least in my account they do. And then data-driven attribution, create and continue. This other part, the request a quote conversion, you need to go through, and part of this is actually, I guess I could kind of partially walk you through it. Website, let's just scan. So it's going to scan and see if your Google tracking code, is set up on your website. So here it gives you all these options, and I'll be honest, this is where it gets a little confusing for most people. And it gives you too many options, but conversion goal, some of these are actually the same. You can set them up the same, but I like to say request quote. And then page load. So if you have your Google, the code, I'll just say code for simplicity purposes, set up correctly, it can just trigger across your website. But what I prefer to do is add a conversion manually. In this case, we'll still do quote, request a quote. You can add it right there. You can put like request quote, value, same value, 1 for leads. And then once we do this, we can actually get the code for it. Here, we want to get the actual code for the entire tag manager, but you also want this event snippet. So part of your code needs to go across your whole website, and part of this needs to go on the thank you page. So there's a little technical piece, but when someone submits on, let me see, on this page, you want it to go to a thank you page. So thank you for requesting your quote. Boom. Now, when they go to that page, this code is on that page and it logs it as a conversion. Here's where if this stuff isn't set up right, then Google won't really know if it was a conversion or not. This is where some of this stuff gets kind of technical. Anyway, that was the big piece for conversions. There's some other conversions. The biggest ones I'd recommend are phone call and lead or quote request. I think we just did that in 30 minutes or less. So guys, that was the Google Ads Live demo. I realized that was kind of fast and furious, but I wanted to show you kind of what goes into it, what can help you. Because no, it's not rocket science. I think anyone can figure out anything. Anyone can figure out how to do it, how to fix a car, but I prefer to go to a mechanic for it. To show you all that stuff, guys, again, the last piece would of course be, if we need help for this, if you realize, hey, that's all good and I can figure it out, but I'd rather get someone to help me. So if that's you guys, if you want to get help with any of this stuff, of course you can give us a call here, or you can go to our website and click schedule. And just schedule a call. We can walk through steps to helping your business, whatever you need, whether it's Google ads, Facebook ads, both, YouTube, stuff like that. We really only recommend things that we think will help your business succeed. If you have a lower budget, then we're not going to recommend all that stuff. Certain businesses are doing more ads. Certain businesses are doing less. Again, I said you could probably start Google ads with 15 to 20 bucks a day. Some guys are doing hundreds a day or thousands a day. Some guys are doing hundreds or thousands on Facebook. Some guys are doing 15 bucks. It really depends on your budget and your ability to execute and call those leads, contact those leads back. and start growing your business. So again, I hope that helped you guys. I hope that was beneficial and showed you what Google Ads could do for your business.